Hello everybody and welcome again back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new Solar Wave Defense. Solar Waves are going to be a great addition to the game. They help close off older loops as well, which is nice. They save time, they're quicker than standard waves. I've got some really good things to say. A couple of negatives as well, which we're going to throw in. I'm going to talk about some strategies on how to beat them. I'm going to talk about where all the hostiles come from. Are they set? Do they rotate? We're going to answer all those questions. Should you be punching up? We're going to answer that question as well. So everything to do with Solar Waves we're going to cover in this video. Let's dive in to the latest feature, Solar Waves in STFC. Right, let's start off with some basics. So, a couple of basics. Wave defense. Wave defenses are found in these systems that you can currently see on the screen now. So, just below the big 100 trillion light years cube that you can see there, north of territories, you can see all these funky circles. So, there are currently 7 circles. The blue ones are the older style. Now, whenever they're going to add a new type of wave, they've said they're going to make them yellow and then revert the older ones to blue. So, it might mean that they're going to be having some more types of waves in the future. Who knows? So obviously down here, basics, we've got the old waves. These are the standard waves. We've then got the mirror waves that were launched when the mirror universe came out. And then these 3 yellow systems, which are a hell of a lot of them, we've got the brand new solar waves. So the blue ones currently are the ones that you would play as a group with other members of your server. And the yellow ones are one that you're going to play on your own. Where this varies in a couple of ways are that you have to play by yourself, be careful how you say that. And the second thing is that you can bring 3 ships to these waves, not just 2 that you can take to a standard wave. So you can take 3 of your ships over to these waves. Now, as you can see, there are 3 different levels. So there are G4 waves here, starting at level 45. This is an Ops 45 plus mechanic, which is why they're geared to be at level 45. There are then the 50 waves for the G5 players, and then there are 60 waves for the G6 players. Now, obviously, because there are events and things on, this is the month of launch that we're going through this. Hitting your particular level is going to be important for you to be getting your correct event rewards. However, what I want to talk about is what level of wave should you be hitting? And I think the best way to start with this is let's start and reverse engineer this. Let's take a look at the rewards. So I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet, which is expertly curated by Jules Verne, Blue Mandalorian, Kazel, and the team over there that make all of these fantastic charts. And if you want access to this chart, they are all available on our Discord. Link to that is down below. Check out the charts channel where you can find every single chart that is updated by Jules Verne. This is the home of his charts. This is where you can get everything absolutely quickest and most up to date on our Discord. Find the link in the description. So these are the rewards, as you can see, for G4, G5 and G6 solos. So the quick question is should you punch up? Should you punch up? We're trying to decide here. We're not talking about this month where you've got events. We're talking about long term of this particular feature. So let's say, for example, you are a G4 player. Should you be trying to hit up and hit the G5s? Now, you are level locked, so you can't even hit the G5s until you are up 50. You can't even hit the G6s until you are up 60. You can't even hit the G4s until you are up 45. So there's no punch-up mechanic massively if you're a G4 thinking you can take on the G5s. But the question is if you are a low-level G5 or a low-level G6 player, should you be going and just seeing what you can do in your level, or should you be punching down? So to answer that question, it's very, very straightforward. So let's use the example of you are a G5 player. Okay, you're a G5 player. So let's have a look at the G5 solos. So G5 solos, if you can kill all of them and you're at ops level between 50 and 59, you can kill all of them, you should be doing G5 solos. Let's say you're at the lower end of G5, and the same thing can be applied to G6 in virtually the same pattern. If you was, say, a LOPS 52, so you don't have your level 53 ship yet, and you could get 2, you could easily beat the G4 one. So you're going to be getting 1,800 of the new access credits, 1,200 of the section 31 credits, and then 600 of the mirror credits. So these 2 credits here on the right hand side, the section 31 and the mirror, they're the existing wave defense rewards. Okay, it's the access ones that are new for the new bundles, and we are going to talk about the event store. This video is going to be slightly longer than normal because there's quite a bit to explain, and I want to try and get it all out there in a oneer if I can. So So if you can beat the G4 ones completely, the total amount you will get in access credits, section 31 and mirror are at the bottom there, 1800, 1200 and 600. Okay, now if you want to, if we just looked at the access tokens, let's say you was a G5 player, you're up to 52, and all you want to do is focus on getting the access tokens. You're quite happy to still do the older versions of the waves for section 31 and mirror credits. If you're prepared to do that, the strategy is slightly different. Okay, so look at this. So if you are up to 52 and you kill a G4, you're going to get 1800 access tokens. What do you need to be able to do in G5 land to be able to get those 1800 tokens? You need to be able to do 800, 500, that's 1300, 1600. You need to be able to beat wave 4. If you can beat wave 4 in a G5 solo, then you will get more from hitting G5 and beating wave 4 than you would by just going down and beating the G4 ones. If you are not able to hit G4, the level 4 of them, and you can only get to wave 3, you can only complete wave 3 of the G5, in terms of the access tokens, you are better off in all areas jumping down and doing the one below. Because obviously 800, 500, 1600, you're 200 credits short if you can only beat wave 3. However, by beating wave 3 of the G5, you're also getting more section 31 credits and more mirror credits. So if you want to use this as an end game to your loop, as long as if you're a G5 player, you can defeat wave 3, my opinion, the 300 credits that you're losing in access tokens, it's worth you just defeating wave 3 of the G5 solos. Does that make sense? So basically, unless you can defeat wave 3, you're going to be profitable on the older currencies, but you're going to be slightly down on the access currencies. If you can defeat wave 4 or higher of the G5, that's what you should be doing. If you can only defeat wave 2, then you need to be punching down and hitting the G4s. And the same applies if you're a G6 player, low level G6, and you're struggling with the G6 ones. Consider where you're going to be in terms of the G5 position. Okay, so that's where the rewards come in, and that's where you've got to strategize as to where long term you want to go through and where you want to be focusing your time while you build up your ships, your strength, your officers, your researches, your favours, which are going to be super important, but we're going to come to them in a second. We have got the patterns for all of the new waves. So over here on the same spreadsheet, the waves position map is showing us exactly where all the different hostiles are coming from. So if I make this a little bit bigger so that you can see it, we've got obviously battleships, interceptors and explorers, and every single wave, no matter where you are, the first 3 waves are identical because the G4 waves only have 3 waves, and then the G4 and G5 waves both have 5 waves of hostiles. But the waves 1 to 3 for the G5 and G6 are exactly the same patterns as the G4's waves 1 to 3. So nice and straightforward, we know where the patterns are. Now, if you want to be able to keep up with this, we've also got, as we did this before with the other stuff, we've launched some merch for this. So if you want a mouse pad that's got all the solo wave patterns and everything like that on there, then you can come and get that at itslube.com. Link to that is down in the description below. And also as well, if we go into all products, we've also got a mug as well. So if you want to be able to just sit and have a brew and know your patterns for your waves, you can get a mug for that as well at itslube.com. It's on some merch. It looks nice. It supports the channel, and it might help you out whilst you get to figure out all of the different patterns. But anyway, enough plugging about us. Back to these. So we know where the hostiles are going to be, and we know how that's going to work. And there's loads of information on here as to how that works. If we jump back into game, next thing to talk about, I think, is crewing and obviously the rewards as well. We're going to do a wave at the end of this video, so if you want to see me take on a LOP 60 wave, then stay tuned right for the end, and then obviously we will run through one and we'll see how we do. When I ran one yesterday, it was the first time that we did it. A couple of little strategic points that I could show you. You are able to use buffs on waves, okay, and I will show you how to do that. So if you want to use a buff on a wave, what you need to do is you need to obviously start the Armada, and to do that you need to get your directives, as they were, your data pads to be able to get in. There is a free daily drip within the section 31 faction store, and that is on a 3-day cooldown, and it's got a max cap of 400, so you can only hold 400 of these ciphers. We'll stop calling them directives, we'll call them the real name. You can only hold 400 ciphers at a time. I think that's rather low. and that's rather low, and we have given that feedback to the developers, and hopefully by the time you're watching this they may have made a change, but who knows. So you come and grab your ciphers from within the Section 31 faction store, bearing in mind these won't show up until you are Ops 45, and then you start them very similar to an Armada. You click on the system, you click defend. By clicking defend, what that does is that then puts the ship that you've got specifically in your dock selected into that wave. Now, so it's important to get all your ships crewed up, ready to go before you press that button. Now, once you are in the wave, you are able to pull back out and recall that ship if you want to. And that's where the strategy comes in of using the likes of the Titan in there. So what you do is you throw 2 ships in, and the Titan, you buff those 2 ships. So you send the Titan in, you do the buff. I am going to show you this. You pull the Titan back out, and then you throw your 3rd ship in. So the first run that we did of these were the crews that I used. I'll really quickly show you, because you're trying to crew up 3 good hostile crews. So now which ship that you decide to put them on is obviously up to you, but I would suggest using your 3 biggest ships to be able to go at these, because these things do throw massive amounts. They have massive amounts of apex barrier. It's huge, so they throw a massive mitigation. So damage output is really, really important. So on my cube, for example, this was the crew that I was using. So I was using Janeway and the Doctor, so I was getting isolytic, I was getting shield mitigation, and I was getting actual mitigation from the Doctor, and then Lorca in there for hull breach. It's a battleship, so I made sure that I had burning on there. We're getting some apex barrier there off Seska. We're getting Dane for a little bit of speed. We're throwing some stats in there for the Doctor to improve his mitigation ability, and a bit of crit damage there for Odo. That was my first shot. Now remember, if you're going for the 45 waves, the likes of Pike, Moreau, Chen, Picard, Beverly, Chen, Talan, they will still be effective because the hostiles are less than level 51. So remember that you can still use, if you're hitting the 45, you can still use the likes of Pike, Moreau, Chen to be able to do that. On my second ship, I'll show you the crew that I was using, and I'm going to go through another crew that another very, very knowledgeable grinder gave me. I may even go through 2. I may show you 2, and I'll give them a shout out as well. Strange New Worlds with full synergy. So Strange New Worlds Pike giving me better mitigation, decreasing their shield mitigation. So how much goes between shield and hull. Speed there from Una, and then crit damage there from Sam Kirk. And then the below deck, it's an Explorer. So we've got morale on there. We've got actual mitigation there from actual damage mitigation from Tom Paris, some isolytic damage, some crit chance, and some hull repair as well there from the Hughes both. And then my 3rd crew that I was using was Riker with full synergy. So Riker obviously giving me crit chance and speed, and then I was getting isolytic damage from E Picard and E Data, and then below decks crit damage, isolytic defense. Suda, what was he doing for me? He's increasing critical hit damage again. Another crit damage officer. We've got a crit chance officer down there. We've got Laliari. When was the last time that we used her? Increasing apex barrier in wave defense. So Laliari will work with a yala ability. Nice, another good use for her, because we're trying to crew up 3 below decks. It's quite tough. BLT to get us some, to get hull breach to increase our output, and then I didn't have anything else below deck that was going to offer me basically anything, so I just threw Tendi in there for a little bit of extra hull. Because this is my weakest ship, I thought it might just give me a little bit of additional survivability. So there were the 3 crews that I ran, and by using my Titan buff strategy, which I will show you, I was able to comfortably defeat the level 60 waves at my ops level. Now I know my ships might be higher than the ones that you're looking at. They might be tiny compared to the ships that you're using at the moment. Remember, mileage will vary depending on your ships, your officers, your research, and all that sort of thing. Another thing that I really want to stress before I go in there and use one of the crews that was suggested to me, and I will show you that level of crew as well, and I'll show you the mindset behind it, is the faction store. Because what's the point in all this? This all sounds really complicated. Why the hell are we doing it? We're doing it for the rewards. So if we dive into the faction store here and take a look at what you can get from these, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So they've added additional sourcing for things like quantum communicators. These can only be purchased with the new Section 31 access keys. Additional emblems of assessment, don't buy these. You get these in massive abundance. Once you catch up to your ops level with the Court of Q, you'll never need these again, providing that you're doing your Q's trials. Don't spend on these. I think it's a waste. You will get there. Obviously, you've got chaos techs, you've got forbidden techs, you've got artifacts. Artifacts that came out last month. Amelia Earhart's plane, the one that's increasing efficiency of materials for G6 ships up to 250%. We're getting daily drips of these things, and they're not super expensive. They're not stupid expensive. I'm able to get 3 pieces of Amelia Earhart's playing for 360, and it's linear. I can get 1 for 120, 3 for 360. Linear costs. We've now got real sourcing for rare Zindi directives. If this is something that you actually care about, they're pretty pricey, 3,500, but you're getting a full Zindi rare in there. And I'm going to do this for science just to see what the cooldown is, but you're going to get a full Zindi rare start, and then that is then sat on a cooldown of 1 day. It's 22 hours. Standard 22-hour cooldown, and everything in this store is pretty much, apart from these directives, and these directives are on a, need to stop calling them directives, ciphers are on a 1-day cooldown, which is really nice. You get reputation from these. I pull reputation from these every single day. They've even added some field repairs for some G6 ships. So they've added the likes of the Rares, look, the Koskari, the Titan, the Velox are in there. So you can get the field repairs for those. You can get Dolomite sourcing. Section 31 to work on your facade building. Yes, I know, before you all mention it in the comments, I know it's the facade. I'm taking the mick out of Silvers. I miss you, buddy. I do miss you. But I know you won't listen to this because you don't play the game anymore, so I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. If anybody wants to send some love to Silvers, please drop it down in the comments. That would be lovely. As long with all of your thoughts of the arc. What do you like about it? What do you like about Wave Defense? What don't you like about it? What changes would you like to see? Let me know down in the comments exactly what sort of things you want to see. There's a couple of Syndicate bundles in here. They've added all of the PvP officers from the last couple of arcs, so all of the queues. They've offered Soren, Echep, Tuvok. And obviously you've got all your original ones that you already had in there, the old strike team officers. But then when we get down to the bottom, this is where the business happens. This is where the business happens to help improve your game against waves. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 that I think you should really, really focus on first. And just for clarity, these 4 at the bottom here, or is it 5? These 4 or 5 at the bottom here, 6 I think it was. These 6, yeah, all the ones without solo on. These 6 were already here, so these use the old style credits. These use the Section 31 credits, the standard ones. Everything else that says solo on it is using the new access keys to be able to use. So I'm going to specifically, the older ones are decent. If you ignored them, you may decide that you want to go back and start using them. The likes of impulse speed boost, isolytic damage boost, critical hit damage boost. These ones that were already in there that you can see I never even worked on because I didn't need them to complete the waves at the time. You may find that if you're struggling to get through your level of wave that you want to get the maximum output, you go back and even start working on these, because you can work on these without affecting your ability to do the others, because they're using other credits. They're using other credits. And remember, like I was showing you in that chart, you are now, by doing these new solo waves from Ops 45, you are now going to be getting all of the 3 different types of currencies. You're going to be getting the new access, the Section 31s, and the standard mirror credits. You're going to be getting all 3 credits if you can complete, if you're G4, if you can complete level 3, if you're a G5, if you can get up to at least level 3, and obviously if you can finish level 5s on them, you're going to be getting even more. So you're going to be able to get, this is basically going to sunset the whole wave loop for certain people. Now the only thing that's missing from the rewards that you do get in the old ones that you will not get in these. If you was to do mirror waves, you used to get Trillium D, liquid Trillium D. You will no longer get that from the G5 or the G6 or even the G4s. That's the only thing that you lose. So if you want to go out and grind liquid Trillium D, you may still have to go get with a team and go and grind out some more of those older waves if you want to stock up on that. But I mean, it's sourced relatively liberally using the mirror universe. You might not ever need to do that, which I think is a good thing. But these favours, let's talk about a couple that I think you should really focus on. And it's these 3 down at the bottom. Acute Shred, Traceless Shred, and Fierce Shred. It's these 3 down at the bottom side here. These are the 3 that I think that you should focus on. Working on getting your Apex Shred, which is basically using this Scopely efficiency model, whereby you are able to eradicate people's apex barrier. So whatever apex barrier they've got, if for example you've got a 100% bonus, that gives the exact same effect of reducing 50% of their apex barrier. That's the easy numbers. Anything after 100%, you start to really get into diminishing returns. But simple maths, if you can get to 100% on one of these, then you will be given a 50% reduction in their apex barrier. And they are ship type specific, so explorers, battleships, and interceptors, and they go up to a 150% bonus. In my opinion, I think you should be getting up to the 100% on all three before starting to push to the 150. Unless all you are using is battleships. If your top 3 ships are only battleships, then by all means, smash it out, do them all. But start with your biggest ship and then work up to the other ships as well and think about where you want to go. So those 3 for me are the most important. There are 2 other things which I think are something that we need to talk about. The first one is ship part sourcing. So ship part sourcing has been increased as part of this arc. Basically, we're able to, with this one for example, refinery overhaul of interceptors, increasing payout of broken ship parts to interceptor ship parts refinery up to grade 6. So anybody in the game, if you're refining ship parts, so G4, G5 and G6, you are able to get an increased payout using your broken ship parts. So it's the same amount of grinding to get the same amount of broken ship parts, you're going to get more out of your refinery. All of those tables and how much that you're going to be getting out of the refinery is in that chart that I was talking about before, which is really nice to see. So I think if you're going to work on things, working on that is nice. And then also we have then got the market as well. So similar to what we had with the materials tab, there is now a market that you can unlock to be able to swap Explorer for interceptors for battleships and things like that. So obviously make sure you read the description and make sure that you are unlocking first. If you're going to go for this to increase your ship part sourcing, which is a huge bottleneck in the game, make sure that you look and you choose the right one for the ship that you are either working on now or that you're going to be working on soon, so that you can make that a little bit easier and a little bit less of a pain point. There are 2 efficiencies in here which I think I want to talk about, and it's the right connections and the Emperor's Edicts. These are giving you a 10% cost efficiency of both Section 31 and mirror credits from within this store. 10% doesn't sound like a lot, does it? It's basically a 5% reduction. That's the simple maths on it. It's basically a 5% reduction in what the cost is, that first 10%. It's okay. It's okay, but not something that I think because these are going to flow quite freely and you can still go out and do all your other waves to source them quite liberally, I think these are back-end recommendations from me. Your first 3 are going to be your Apex Shred, then you're going to go into your ship parts, especially because I know there will be a bottleneck for most players, then go into your then go into the efficiencies once you've done that. For me, I think they're a last shout. And then while you're at it, remember to still keep working on the 6 from that were already introduced in the game, because I think they will add some benefit to you. And that's the store. I think the store looks really good. I think it's got some fantastic additions, some really new additions as well, which I think is really nice. Some recent stuff added to the game. The DTI plaque only came in last month. Not bad, is it? Increasing damage when combat against armadas invading entities up to 3,500%. It only came in last month and they've added sourcing to it. So good shout, Scopes. Nice job. Well done. And it's nice to see additional sourcing for all these things. And obviously you can convert credits into each other as well at the top. So it's nice that we've got the fluidity and the flexibility in how we want to do this. And I think solo waves are a great addition to the game for that. I promised you I was going to do a wave. I'm going to crew up and I'll be back in a second. And we're back. So these crews are courtesy of Wham, courtesy of Free the Nukes, Wham, Server 15, absolute ultimate grinder. Thank you for these. These are what we're going to try. So if this goes wrong, this is all down to Wham. I have made a slight tweak, and I'll explain why in a second. So his first crew, which is on his cube, is 5 of 11 as captain, so we're getting mitigation from there. Forget the loot ability, we're using it purely for mitigation. Crit chance there from Khan and hull breach from Gorkon. Them 2 work in tandem to really increase our damage output. We've got Neelix for the burning, we've got a bit of damage output from Mariner, we've got more damage output Isolytic there from Chapel, Dane for some speed, and then we've got some stats there to help bulk up the mitigation ability for 5 of 11 to be able to do that, which is lovely. Okay, that's our ship 1. Our second ship, which again is my Koskari. This is one I've changed slightly because I'm on an Explorer. He was running like a burning state crew because he was using a Titan, which obviously is a battleship. I'm using a Koskari, so I've geared it slightly more towards an Explorer. We've still got Lorca for hull breach. We've got Samkirk for crit damage. Again, working in tandem again, very similar to what I was saying before. And then we've got Pike there for our mitigation abilities. Below deck, we've got Hughes 2. We've got crit chance again. We've got some mitigation, additional mitigation there from Tom Paris, and then we've got some ISO boosts and things from Harry Kim. And then on our third ship, we've gone for a triangle sort of crew. So we've gone for Strange New Worlds and Benga, which is obviously giving us huge mitigation. And then we've got Pike as well, also increasing mitigation as well. Okay, which is nice. So we've got huge amount of some mitigation, which should be good because this ship takes massive, massive damage. We've got some apex barrier in the officers down below. We've got anoraks giving us a little bit more as well, giving us some more apex barrier to try and help us to reflect some of that damage. And then we've got a few other officers in there as well, as you can see, a bit of hull breach. So we've got hull breach on all ships. We've got mitigation on all ships. And this is what Wham was saying that you to focus on. Make sure that you've got mitigation, make sure that you've got hull breach. Start there on your ships, have that on all three, and then start fitting more crews around it. And this is what we're going to go with. And we're going to see how it works. We're going to go on a 60. I am going to show you, we're going to go and enter Sharon here. Tweet. We're going to go and enter Sharon here with our officers. So I'm going to show you the tactic I was saying about me being able to max fortify. So bring a ship in. Oh, and obviously it's crashed. So let's just quickly restart. I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry about that, people. But that does happen sometimes with wave defences. Even when you're entering the old group ones, it sometimes crashes when you try and first enter. That ship will be in there. So Borg Cube is in, so we can locate that and we can dive into the system. Now this is where as well the community mod, if you are a PC player and you are not using the community mod, you need to have this. Look at how far I can zoom out. This really helps with this feature. It's absolutely huge. We can then throw the Koskari in there, but then what you do is you stop. So you have two main ships, you then throw your Titan in. Okay, so you throw your Titan in, and then what your Titan does is you can then use it. So let's just use a max fortify. So we're going to buff the other two main ships. I can then drag a ship out. So this is a mechanical wave defense that not many people knew about. You can take a ship back out, and then you can bring in your third ship to benefit from that in there. Now remember as well, you've got Lorca's Fist. So if you want to use that and you've got that unlocked, you've got Lorca slotted as your fleet commander with their abilities, it gives you that ability as well that you can throw in. Waves 1 and 2 are relatively straightforward. It's at wave 3 where things start to get a little bit tetchy. So if we just really quickly just jump back to our merch item and have a quick look at that. Shameless plug again, I know. It's lube.com. Link to the website is down in the description below if you want to pick up one of these pads. But we can have a look here and let's see where our hostiles are. So if we have a look at wave 1, which is the top left. So with the key one here is going to be the Enterprise, which I want to be able to take out the interceptors. So the interceptors are the grey bubbles. So we've got an interceptor at 12 o'clock up here, and then we've got an interceptor coming in then at 5 o'clock. Now for wave 1, as you can see here, these actually don't start right at the edge. These start one circle in within the system. So that's important to note. Where they say they start on this system in relation to the circles is where the hostiles spawn. So the ones that are right on the edge and like normal wave defenses, these ones are starting in the middle of the system. And look at this one on wave 4. So important. It starts so close to the middle that you've got to be really wary when you get to wave 4 that one doesn't catch you. There's nothing else that close, but don't let that one catch you. Okay, so again, want to pick up one of these mouse pads or a mug? It's lube.com. Back to game. So we know that we've got to take out that interceptor, which we knew was coming in at 5 o'clock. So we're going to throw that down there. And as soon as that's hit, now the other two to start off with don't matter because they'll be able to kill pretty much anything. But we want to be able to kill the interceptors with my Enterprise for as long as it lasts. I don't expect it to survive all 5 waves. It will not do that. Let's dive in. Only 3 ships can reach the center. Once 3 ships reach the center, you are dead. But wish me luck. Here we go. I'm actually going to talk a little bit during this because I need to focus. Focus killing that, and then I need to make sure that I send my Enterprise up here to kill this interceptor to take the least amount of damage. And then we can go send that over there, and we can send that over there. While they're going to kill those targets, we can flick back to this and look at wave 2. So wave 2, the interceptors are coming at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Having the mouse pad would be so much more helpful. 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So we can send that here, and this should give us that one to be able to kill that interceptor. There we go. So we can go kill that. We can send the Borg Cube to kill that. We can send that to kill that. But then we've got to send the Enterprise all the way across the system here. Go and kill this. That can go kill that. And then this one can be ready to kill this one. So pretty easy so far. But the first two, look, I love the artwork. Look at that Ferengi Plunderer. It looks so nice, doesn't it? It looks really, really nice. The artwork's great. I'd love that as an actual ship in the game. Love that as an actual ship. Right, wave 3. Where are we? All right, so we're all pretty much up top. We're all pretty much up top. So what we'll do is we'll send this down here to kill this. And then, oh no, no. Coordinate. Coordinate. Oh my word. Oh, that went horribly wrong. That went horribly wrong. We'll send that down there to kill that. But you can see you have got time on these. Oh my word. He says, as he messes this up catastrophically. Remember, wave 4's got that horrible hostile in as well. Got that horrible hostile in. All right, we'll send that to kill that. And we'll send that to kill that. So wave 4's got the horrible hostile. So we're going to leave him there. We're going to leave that one there. Where's the rest of 4 coming out? They're all coming pretty much at the bottom. So this one should be fine. So look how close that one came out. So we can kill that. We'll send A to kill that. We'll send Enterprise to kill that. Now it might die here. This Enterprise might die. But the main thing is that we need to make sure that the other two ships survive, so that we can do this. So yes, it did. It died. So we've got to quickly get in here and get that to kill that. Oh, did we get it? Oh, I think we got it. I think we got it. We got it. Just slight visual glitch there. We can send that over. So now we've only got 2 ships for the final wave. Where do they come in on the final wave? So we're pretty much at the bottom. Pretty much at the bottom here. We've killed all them there. Enterprise is dead. We've only got 2 ships to manage now, which is nice. Most things are down here. Kill that with that. Kill that with that. And then what we'll do is we'll send that to kill this. We'll send that to kill this. Should work out quite nicely. Then we're going to send the cube to kill this one. And then the Coscari to kill this one on top. Sorry, I know this is... I hope this is riveting watching for everybody. That to kill that. And send this to kill this. Come on. Want to be perfect. Want to be perfect. Oh. So close to being perfect. We let one through. We let one through, but they were the crews. I've shown you 2 different areas of crews. And remember, if you are specifically going to be hitting the 45s, things like Pike Moreau Chen will still work. And you can see there, we finished at level 60 wave. We got the full rewards from everything, which allowed me to go ham in my refinery. I hope you found that useful. I hope I've covered a lot of things off there. We've covered the faction store. We've covered the basics of waves. We've covered some crewing. We've covered some strategy. We've covered a way for you to get better by buying some merch. It's lube.com. Make sure you go and do that. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. If you like these in-depth videos and things, we did do a video all about the events that are coming up in March of 2025. If you're watching this in August of 2025 because you're just getting into solo waves, ignore that last part, but please go check us out. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video if you liked it, drop all the comments down below of what you liked about wave defenses, what you don't like. But apart from that, I'll let you get on with the rest of your day, and I'll say a massive thank you, and remember that absolutely everything is better with lube. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day.